Hey friends, how are you? Welcome in for another Thursday of a creative lettering project. My name is Krista Witten. If this is your first time joining me, then welcome. It's good to see you. Before we get really going, I want to tell you that I'm having my last workshop of the year coming up October 29th and 30th. It's just 2 weeks away, actually less than 2 weeks away, because it's on a Wednesday night. So 2 weeks from yesterday, but we're going to make this sign and I'm going to show you the technique to make the background. I'm going to show you the technique for how to do the lettering, even if you have no hand lettering experience. So you can still jump in and sign up for the workshop. We are going to be live at 8 p.m. Eastern time, both nights. So 7 p.m. Central, and I can't do all the other time zones, but it's only $10 to join us. And I do have a few kits left. I have some supply kits if you want me to just ship you the supplies that you need, which would be the wooden sign, the hanger, the template, the Posca pen, the graphite paper, everything except the paint. So I can ship that to you if you would like this supply kit, but I do send you a list so that you can go out and source your own supplies if you'd rather do that. So if you're on Facebook, you can comment workshop in the comments and it will send you the link automatically to sign up. If you're on YouTube, you can look at the link in the description to sign up for that. So get in there. We're going to have fun. I've got a bunch of ladies who've already joined the Facebook group where we're kind of convening for the workshop. We're going to all sort of meet in there. I'll have some announcements. I'll have some links. Everything that you need will come there because, email can be squirrely. I'm going to send it out via email, but email sometimes lets us down because everything likes to go into the junk mailbox and everything now. So the Facebook group is the place where we're going to convene and connect with other creatives. And then the live stream classes will be on YouTube. So that's the way that I'm doing it this time. I really liked doing YouTube last time because I can schedule the stream and then I can send it to you. You can get on there up to 30 minutes early and be ready to go. And you're not sitting there refreshing your browser over and over and over, waiting for me to go live. So that is the plan. So comment workshop if you are interested in joining us to make the Joy to the World Christmas sign. It's going to be a fun 2 nights. So today we are going to do a little pumpkin sign. I have these little pumpkins that I ordered from Amazon, little wooden pumpkins, and I have this template and it's sweater weather. So we're just getting to the point now where in Florida, where I live, we have nice cool mornings that are in the 60s, and I got to put on my sweater and drink my coffee and kind of pretend that it feels like fall for a few hours until it gets to be 80 degrees during the day. So, hey, Donna, good to see you. I'm glad you caught me live too. Yay. So we're going to do sweater weather. I thought I was finally in the mood to do this template. This is one of the template designs that is inside the Scripted Faith Collective. And it's a really pretty design. I love the calligraphy of it and everything. There are just some designs that just work, sometimes I'll do stuff and I'll be like, well, it worked, it's fine. But then there's some that I'm like, oh, I just love the flow. And this is one of the ones where I did it and I thought, I just love the flow of the movement of the letters and everything together. So, hey, Roxy, good to see you. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to paint this little pumpkin and we're going to put sweater weather on it and see how it turns out. So I've got just the normal supplies. If this is your first time watching, we're just using basic craft supplies that you could get pretty much anywhere paints, craft paints, markers. I'll show you the marker that I'm going to use today. I'm going to try a different marker today, I think. So I've got these two different oranges. One of them is folk art called Coral Shell. So that's the lighter one. And then that bright Tennessee orange, pumpkin orange is what it's called by Apple Barrel. Listen, funny fact, I grew up in Tennessee, but I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, and we were not Tennessee fans by any means. My family is actually, we're from Texas originally, and so my family is all Longhorns fans. I personally do not care that much about football or sports, to be really honest, but I can be a really, really good bandwagon fan when it's like the playoffs or something exciting. Like I can get on board with that. But I went to the University of Memphis for part of my college years. I did not graduate from there, but we did not like Tennessee very much. So, and I have a Tennessee grad in the family now. My brother-in-law graduated from there. So I'm going to go ahead and put paint on here while I'm talking. I'm just going to cover this surface. I didn't do anything to prep it. It was already smooth, but I am doing this light coral color for the background. So, but funny fact, I was in the band in college and in high school. So I went to every single football game. Every single football game. Could I tell you all about football? No. Did I pay attention very much from the stands? No. Not really. So, all right. I just poured a little bit of paint out and it got all liquidy. I don't know if you can see there. It's like really watery. So that just probably means that the paint has sat there for too long and not gotten stirred up, which is funny because when I first put it out on the plate, it did not do that. But I'm just going to take another paintbrush and just stir that up. And try again. So Tennessee orange, I know some people love it. It is not my favorite. It is not my favorite, but that's the first thing I thought of when I saw that orange. All right, so get a good bit of paint on your surface. I'm trying not to go too thick though, because we don't want to wait forever for it to dry. These little surfaces are from Amazon. And listen, I want to say that I paid, I don't know, $7, but I didn't realize when I ordered it, it came with 3 of them. So I have 2 more. And obviously you can turn it over even on the back and use the other side. So you could get a lot of, you could do like a dual sign here. You could do one for general fall. You could do Halloween if that's your thing. You could do the other side and turn it over and do Thanksgiving. So y'all tell me what you've been up to. What's been going on? Roxy, the size, let me measure it for you really fast. This is a 12-inch ruler. So it's right at, my hair is coming out. It's right at about 12 inches across. And then for the body part of the pumpkin, not counting the stem, it's 8 inches that way. So to give you an idea, with the stem, it is about 10.5 inches. So it's a good little size. I'm going to put it on my counter in my kitchen, I think, or on my shelves by my coffee bar. So y'all tell me what's been going on with you in the chat. Or are you working on any projects? Okay, I'm gonna get all this coated. It kind of needs a second coat, it looks like to me. Second coats are the worst. I don't know why, but I get so bored. I'm like, oh, I have to do it again. I have to cover it again. I just did that one time. I feel like that when I paint bedrooms too, where I'm like, needs another coat. The first coat was fun because I could really see my, what I was doing. You could see the instant change. It's like instant gratification. But then the second coat is like, boring. Hey, Yolanda. Hey, Glinda. Welcome to y'all. Thanks for coming and stopping by and hanging out with me for a little bit today. Roxy says she's been doing some projects with Summer's Printables. I'd love to see what you do with them. All right. It's pretty dry. So I don't know if you can tell. It's a little streaky. You can see that line right there. I'm going to just do another quick coat. A real thin coat so it will dry quickly. And then we're going to do some polka dots on top of this. I'm going to use that brighter orange to do the polka dots. So it'll be a real cute, fun background. All right, the paint came out better this time. So it's all nicely stirred up, ready to go. We were making pumpkin bread today. I have had the ingredients sitting on the counter for a couple days. My kids love pumpkin bread, and we, only make it for a short period of time. Actually, it's funny because when I first make it, they will eat they'll eat a loaf in one day. And then my recipe makes 2 loaves. So then we'll, start the next one, and then they'll eat that one pretty quick too. And then when I make another batch, I feel like it doesn't go as quickly. So it's always funny to me. They're like ready for the pumpkin bread. Like, yes, it's time for pumpkin bread. And then I try to keep it coming. And then it starts to be, they're just not as excited about it for the next batch. But this will be our second batch. So I'm making 2 loaves. They're in the oven right now. I can smell them. It smells wonderful. So by the time I get off here, they should be ready to go. And then we have some family in town this week. So I may take some pumpkin bread with me, and we're going to go see our cousins and family members visiting from Tennessee. From the University of Tennessee country. Okay. There we go. We took care of the streakiness. Let me hit it again with the heat gun real quick. Oh, Glenda, pumpkin spice donuts are amazing. Every time we have gone to Dunkin', which is not super often, but we've gone to Dunkin' a couple times since they put out their pumpkin donuts. And Sunday morning, we stopped by. My husband was getting some of the little donut holes for his Sunday school class, and he was getting us coffee. And I went ahead and ordered a pumpkin donut because I was like, so good. I need it. It's only around for a short time. So it was a treat. So good. I'm not a big pumpkin pie fan though. Do y'all like pumpkin pie? I can share the recipe. It's my mom gave me the recipe a long, long time ago, I think. So I would be happy to send it to you. I've tried the Krusties and the Libby's version of the boxed pumpkin bread, and it's fine, but I don't know. There's just something about that homemade pumpkin bread that I love it. So, all right, I'm just going to clean that brush, and I'm actually this is the brush that I used to stir that paint. So I'm going to just go ahead and stick that in there too. So it can just soak a minute. And then I've got my bright orange. So again, this is apple barrel pumpkin orange. And I'm going to do some polka dots. I was planning on freehanding them. So I think the best thing to do would be to start in the middle. So I've got a few different size brushes here. The one that I put in the paint might actually be the better one. So hold on, let me clean this off. Just get my brush. So I wasn't paying attention whenever I grabbed a brush to stir that up. So this is a little bit of a thicker brush versus this one. So you can see the difference. I just think I want to do some larger polka dots, and it would take me too long with that smaller brush. So, okay, so here we go. I'm going to just dip some paint in there, and I'm just going to start in the middle. I'm going to kind of eyeball the middle. And then, let's see, we'll go down here, space them out. Probably have to do a second coat on these too. I wasn't really sure how the bright orange and the coral would look together. I've got another color that I thought I might pull out too for some accent colors. I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, and then we're going to go off the edge here. So since it's kind of an ununiform shape, you know, it's not like a circle or a square. I feel like I feel less the desire to be perfectly centered with everything, which kind of lends itself nicely to just like, okay, we're not worrying about like getting everything super centered or whatever. And remember, there's going to be lettering on top of this too, so that's going to help take your eye away. But it's not bad. And then we'll do a little bit up here too. Cute. Cute, cute. All right. Let me go back, fill in a little bit. On the first ones, they're starting to dry. Now, y'all tell me, now looking at it with the color and everything, I have black and I have white markers for the lettering. And remember, the lettering is big and bold. It's not small, intricate detail. So, do you think white letters would look better or black letters? What's your vote? Let's see. I'm waiting for y'all's responses. Black or white lettering for the words. Okay. There we go. Got that done. Okay, Roxy says the lettering color is always tricky for me. Me too. And the one, so normally I would say black because it's like going to stand off of the lighter color background. But now we do have like a bright orange, and that black and orange is definitely going to lend itself more to like a Halloween look, you know, when you do black and orange. But I really wanted to use my new Faber-Castell artist brush. So there's that. And then there's the white, but I am going to add a little bit of color detail. I just don't know that it's going to throw off that like black and orange look that much. So the detail that I was going to add is using this sage mint color, and I'm going to use it to outline the circles. And then I thought I could also use it as a accent color to the lettering. Maybe if we did black, we could do the green down the middle and kind of like break up all that black. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it still. So while we're thinking about it, because my main thing is I don't want it to be like super Halloween, but maybe the green will help throw it off. So let's see. I've got the green, add a little bit to my, and this is a brand new color. I just bought it. So hopefully it's all stirred up like it should be. And now I'm going to take that smaller tip brush and I'm just going to lightly go around the dots. Hold on. I see a few wet spots. I don't want it to mingle in too much. White letter with green highlights. Yeah. I know y'all are like, maybe black, maybe white. I don't know. You feel like me, basically. Truly, I don't think that we could pick a wrong color. You know, either one I think is going to look just fine. It's kind of like one of those gut things. So, all right, I've got just a little bit of paint there on the brush. And I like it to have a little bit of that brushy look. That first one on the bottom doesn't quite have it because I had so much paint on there. So I'm going to dab just a little bit less paint so that it has a little bit of the worn, brushy look to it. Do you know what I'm talking about? A little bit more like that. And my lights are so bright and shiny that it's like glaring just a bit, but hopefully you can see that it's kind of got that brush look to it. So a little heavier on one side and then tapers off on the other. It's funny, the mint green does not look mint at all on top of this orange. Maybe it's just the lights messing with me, but it's like totally changes color from the paper plate to the sign. All right. So look, can you tell the difference? I guess it's just the white background versus the orange background. It just makes it look a little different. But That is cute. I like that a lot. Okay. I'm gonna go with black. I almost said white. I was just like about to say white. But then this thought popped in my head that the white might be a little harder to cover the orange. So we're going to do black, but then we're going to go over it with maybe some white or the mint green and kind of like subdue the harshness of the black. Okay. That's the plan. That's at least what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking that it's going to look like. So let's do that. Just make sure that your paint is not wet when you go to trace, because remember, it can really mess up the look of your piece. It'll smash it, even if you think it's dry. So if you've got any like thicker areas where the paint is thick, just give it a second to go ahead and dry. So here's a template. Let me cut it. And just cut it just a little bit around the edges so that we can see better. This printed off at the normal size, 8.5 by 11. I did not scale the size at all. Okay. And just cut off this little corner too. All right, and that will help you see a little bit better if you're centered. Centered and straight. Okay. Let me move my stuff out of the way. Is everybody signed up for the workshop in 2 weeks? If you're already in the Scripted Faith Collective, then you get a free ticket. So you can go look at your email that I sent you for the link to get in the Facebook group. But if you haven't joined the workshop already, I would love to have you there. It's going to be Wednesday and Thursday. So yesterday was actually 2 weeks, the 2-week mark. So let me, I'm going to press this tape back just a little bit to secure it better. And then I'm going to slide the graphite paper up into there. Okay. My pencil. So just grab a pencil or something that is hard to press down on and transfer your template. Once you get a little ways in, we're going to always check it, right? Always check it. That way you don't waste your time if it's not tracing for some reason. You have to troubleshoot that. I ordered some white graphite paper from Amazon for the workshop, for the kits. And I got it in and I just was like, I need to test it and make sure that it works good before I start sending these out. And so I took the top one off and I was like, this doesn't feel like it has any wax on it at all. What did they send me? And so then I tried to see if it would transfer and it wasn't doing anything. And I thought, they just sent me normal tracing paper. I'm going to have to send this back, and it was like 200 sheets or something that I ordered. And then I got to thinking about it and I was like, well, let me just see if the next one's like that. I don't even know what made me think to try to grab another piece of the paper from the stack, but it was just like the top sheet that they had put on there, I guess, to keep the wax from I don't know. I don't know why there would be a top sheet on there, but anyway, all the rest of them were waxy, just not the one that I originally grabbed. So I was glad for that. I did not have to send it back. But, I was also glad that I tested it, because I would have felt really bad if somebody had gotten that top sheet and been like, my tracing paper is not working, or my graphite paper is not working. It's just normal tracing paper. That would have been sad. All right. That's looking good and sharp. You can see those lines really nicely. I love sweater weather so much, but I have to go somewhere else to really enjoy it. The last few Thanksgivings, we have gone up to Georgia for Thanksgiving, and it's been really lovely to feel some nice, cool air. A lot of times on Thanksgiving here in Florida, it is hot. And as much as you want to wear a sweater on Thanksgiving Day, you're, stuck in a t-shirt. So it's nice to get away to that. All right, we're almost there. Okay. I think I got all that. Oh, here, let me do this little flourish down here. I think I got all the places. Oh, I missed a spot right here. Everything else looks good. Okay, so here's the reveal. And now we have our beautiful crisp lines to color in. All right, I said black, right? This is what we decided to go with. I'm using a new pen today, a new marker. So let's see how it works. This is the Faber-Castell, which I don't think I've ever used, but it says big brush, and it's got a B right here. So I'm assuming that maybe it's like a B tip. I don't know. But, oh, I hate when you can't put it on the back. Okay. Well, here we go. Let's see if it's juicy or not. Kind of reminds me of the Sharpie creative marker, kind of the brush tips with that. So that this is a brush tip, meaning it's flexible tip. So beware of that, because it's not just like a little bullet tip. Makes it a little bit harder to wield, like to trace, because of it being so flexible. Your tip just doesn't do maybe the same as it would with a bullet tip. It's very smooth though. I like not having to shake it, to be honest. honest. That's a big draw. So I'm turning, Glenda, I know you're left-handed. I'm turning, and I'm also going to grab a little card that I have sitting over here. Just like a little piece of paper or some kind of card to cover up my hand. Let me go ahead and get this T crossbar too. All right. What is your favorite marker? Do y'all have a favorite marker that you've used that you like for sign painting like this? I know some people just will swear by an oil-based pen. And I haven't used one of those in a long time. I need to get another one and just test it out. The Sharpie, I think, is oil-based, maybe. Paint pen. Okay. Yes, Glenda. I think that Jennifer does like these. I've never tried them. But I'm all about, normally I'll be honest, it's like you find something that works, just stick with it. Why mess with something that is working with you? But at the same time, I love to explore different supplies. So when I first started hand lettering, it was like every single day I was seeing a new pen or a new marker or whatever. Or I did that pointed pen calligraphy for a while too. And so I wanted to try all the different nibs and all the different inks and all the different holders and all that stuff. But then after a while, it's like I got into a groove, and then I was just happy with what I was comfortable with. And so it's hard to break out of that and try different things when you feel like, oh, I've tried a lot and I didn't like that as much as this. But then that can get kind of boring too. So I'm trying to push myself to try out some different supplies. Okay. So there we go with the sweater. And then weather. I'll tell you, I may go back with the fine tipped black of my Posca to get the edges, because I don't think the edges are as smooth with this brush tip. That might just take some practice on my end. But I just tell y'all what I'm experiencing so that whenever you go to try it, you don't feel like an oddity, like, oh, other people get to use this one. Why does it not work for me or whatever? So I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. All right. I love the big, thick down strokes. They're just easy and satisfying to fill those in. It's fun. But yeah, I'm struggling with this brush tip just a little bit. And maybe that's being left-handed too, because the brush tips sometimes just don't, like the way that we write when you're left-handed, the way that you have to do the letters. Remember, we're doing them opposite the way that a right-handed person does. And so sometimes that tip doesn't want to cooperate. All right, one more letter. You take care of this R. And then we'll do a little finessing with it. I feel like it's kind of looking rough right now, to be super honest. I don't know if you can see what I can see though, because I'm up on it closer, but. And then our little flourish. Okay. So not bad. Not bad. Up close, it's a little uneven. So let me grab my. Let me grab my Posca real quick. This is the fine tipped one. And just want to go around the edges just a tad where it's a little feathery or uneven. And that was my own hand that I feel like kind of is. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me zoom in. Because you may look at yours and think that, why does mine look different from Crystal's? And so here's what I mean. Let's see, can we get in a little bit more? Do you see like along the top of the W there, how it's just kind of like, it's a little shaky. So that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. I just want to smooth it out just a little. There we go. And then if you have some of your guidelines still showing, you can even come in a little bit tighter on them. There we go. Just enough to smooth that out just a little bit. Okay. All right. Let me do this one too. Just a second. I'm actually thinking for my accent color about doing white instead of the green, because I'm wondering what the green will look like on top of the black. But what if we did both? What if I did green and then I layered white over top of that? So we kind of get both. Because I would like to pull in the green from the background into the lettering. There we go. All right, sorry, I'm getting a little bit nitpicky here. Like, okay, stop, pull away. Let me zoom back out just a little bit. Okay, so here's where we are right now. So I think what I'm gonna do, I have this thin tipped brush, and then I also have this thin tipped brush that I used earlier. This one is a little bit shorter, so I have a little bit more control over it than like a longer brush bristles. You don't have maybe as much control. So the only thing is you want to get just a very light bit of paint on it. All right. So let's do the green, and then we'll look at that, and then maybe we'll add just a little bit of white to layer on top of it. So I'm just going to dab a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of paint, and then I'm going to come in here and just lightly. I actually don't like this brush. It's too thick. That almost looks white on there, doesn't it? Let's see, what other brush tips do I have? This one's teeny tiny. Teeny, teeny, tiny. Let's try that. Yeah, I like that better. It's not as spread out. Okay. So just the slightest little bit of paint. A little bit more than that, though. So, whenever you first put your brush down, it's got the biggest glob of paint at the top, and then so I'm trying to get it evenly spread out. So short, quick little brush strokes there. And I'm doing the thick downstrokes. That's my focus. Maybe start at the top sometimes and then start at the bottom sometimes, so you get a variation of where it's the thickest. So it's not always at the top or always at the bottom, depending on how much paint is on your brush. See, already I like how much that just takes away from that black, that like real stark black. And then I think that I will do just a little bit of white on top of it too. Make it pop just a little more. Or we could do a little drop shadow with a white paint pen. That might actually be nice. All right, so there's all of our thick down strokes. Just a little bit of mint green. And then let me grab the white. This is actually kind of like it's called Sun-Kissed Peach. So it's not like stark white, but let me just see. Get just the smallest little bit there. Clean your brush. Got all that green off. Okay, I just got the tiniest little bit of peach. And I'm going to come back over that. Kind of layer it. I want the green to show through, but the green really, because it's so thin, you know, I didn't go heavy with the green. It almost doesn't look like green, to be honest with you. So it's kind of even hard to tell that it's being layered. The colors are being layered. This is trial and error. So coming up from the bottom, I think the peach adds a nice little touch to it. I don't know if you can tell. All right. That was me. That wasn't you. the ding. All right. All right. Tell me if you've used this template yet. What you might use it on if you decide to use it. I'm going to do a little bit of this peach just around the edges. Again, just a little bit of dimension there. It's those little details that seem to make the difference between looking flat and looking interesting. Okay, there we go. So then I think the last thing we could do is just add like a little bit of a drop shadow with the white paint pen, but we could also leave it. So Doris, thank you, or Doris, sorry. I appreciate, she says it's always beautiful when you do it. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's good. I am always appreciative of being able to look back and go, oh, from a distance, like it looks great. You know, when you look up close, you see all the little imperfections. It's like our faces, right? Like we get up close and we see all the things when we put our makeup on and everything. Okay, let's see. I'm just like in a try it out type of mood right now. I bought this gold Posca paint pen, and I haven't even tried it yet. I haven't even started it. So let's see what it looks like. Maybe that would be a pretty little gold. All right, let's try it. Let's try it. So I'm just going to do the thick downstrokes first. I don't even know if you can see that. Oh, I don't know. Can you see the gold glint there maybe in the lighting? So just where the thick downstroke is, because I don't want to overwhelm it by doing it on every single side of the letter. It's pretty. And if you're doing it upside down, you might have to pay a little bit more attention to where the downstroke is because you're looking at it upside down. that sound. I don't know if that sound bothers you. My sister would be like, I can't. All right. Well, I'm going to show you up close as soon as I get done because I don't think you can see too great. But all right. So it's basically all the thick down strokes. I kind of want to go under here too, but it's also one of those things you could do a total outline on, if you wanted to outline it completely. I think that would look good too. But there's the finished sign. And I don't know if you can see the gold. So it adds just a nice, again, dimension to it. Gives it a little bit more texture and is shiny and pretty. So yay, we have a little pumpkin. And I think that will look really cute on the shelves above my coffee bar. So again, I got these pumpkins from Amazon. If you want, I can put it in the description if you want to go grab one. And it came in a 3-pack. So they were actually not that expensive whenever I realized that there were 3 in the pack. That was a good surprise. So anyway, there we go. That is our Scripted Faith Collective template idea for you to try out if you'd like. And don't forget to sign up for the workshop. We're going to be doing the Joy to the World with the background. It's kind of like a plaid background that we're going to do together. And it's on a 12-inch round sign. So you can comment workshop if you're on Facebook. And I'll send you the link to sign up. And then if you're on YouTube, the link is in the description for you. So that's just 2 weeks away. And I think that's all. So y'all have a wonderful day. I got to go check my pumpkin bread. So I will see y'all next time, or I'll see you on social between here and next time. See ya.